rugged in his time over in England. And you add to that, I mean, his pass completion rate is just ridiculous. The man, he understands how to play the game. He understands the music of the game.
He joined Fulham as a 15-year-old Emerson Hyndman. Now at 18 years of age, playing in the first team. The corner sent in, a swat from Welch. Thompson almost found it on his shoelaces. Trinidad and Tobago trying to lead the break. Cicharan holding it up, waiting for support. Plays it back across. Picked up by Andrews. Long ball for him, and perhaps dangerously for a moment there, Moore's header comfortably finds Zach Steffen. We're just past the halfway mark of the first half in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Scoreless so far on the final day of the group stage of the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. The U.S. advances with a win or a draw to a one-game playoff for the Under-20 World Cup. Trinidad and Tobago, though, if they were to win, they would advance at the expense of the U.S. So essentially the playoff round is already underway for both of these teams. Panama having already grabbed the automatic spot in Group A. Guatemala already knows they are going through to that playoff round.
And at the expense of a generation here of players that would be denied the opportunity to test themselves against better competition in an environment like a World Cup tournament. And if you're extrapolating out to possibly some of these players representing the U.S. in the full team, you want as many opportunities for them to be in those tournament situations as possible.
And the U.S. has qualified for 8 of the last 9 Under-20 World Cups. 2011 was the last time they missed out in a different format at the CONCACAF Championships. They lost to Guatemala in the do-or-die quarterfinal. Fouled by Marquette, and the U.S. back in possession. Thompson a bit too tall for Jamison. Leland Archer of the College of Charleston playing up. A long ball for Cicharan to chase. Moore is there. A good touch to flick it back to himself. Switch there in between Miazga and Requejo. Matt Miazga, good reaction as Akeem Andrews was pressuring. It's out for a U.S. throw. Requejo in for Spencer. Hyndman, close quarters there. Put out by Watson. Pressure from Knuth, and commits a foul in the eyes of the referee, and down for Trinidad and Tobago.
I don't believe it either, Pat. Just ran into a brick wall there.
Matthew Wu Ling, his name.
That's just good core work. Good abs.
Knuth is on a yellow from the opening minute of the game. Rising up was Carter Vickers to win the header. Jamison trying to help it along, can't do so. Wu Ling plays back out wide. This is Akeem Andrews, double teamed. Able to get the cross away, takes a block into the center of the field off Knuth. Good reaction by Tommy Thompson, though, to steal back and pick it up. And now he's leading the U.S. break. Jamison, hard challenge, gets away from it, though. Bradford Jamison, the fourth of the L.A. Galaxy, weaving his way through. Still Jamison. Now for Thompson. Thompson clipping it in. That was Hyndman making the run. Archer able to clear. And again, Trinidad Tobago playing vertical. Miazga is just enough there. Carter Vickers under pressure. Back to the goalkeeper, Steffen. Requejo's long ball. Spencer running onto it, or trying to at least. Blocks it out for a throw.
That's on Raquejo right there. You got to play a better ball into the big man up top. Believe me, I love screaming and yelling about the guys up top, but you got to have a little bit of love on there. Wait to pass.
Romain Gall now tied for the leading scorer at the tournament with Irving Lozano of Mexico. 5 goals in the last 2 games. He is on one of the 3 players that if he was to be shown a yellow card in this game would miss the playoffs. So a nervous check there with the referee, and another free kick given away by the U.S. out on the wing.
And for Romain Gall, it's not just a tournament aberration. He's a leading scorer last year too, so it's just a continuation. But once again, set pieces. U.S. has been good defending him so far. It's the law of averages too.
Well, they got some big targets up there, Trinidad and Tobago.
First guys cut it out a couple of times. We'll see if they go longer.
Once again, it's Wu Ling to take. The in-swinger, Stefan, tracking, and he's up to get the catch, and a little bit of a tumble over the top of Matt Miazga. All into the space for Raquejo. Welch tripped over the ball, tackled off it. U.S. throw. Jamison trying to turn on it. Thompson again popping up all over the field. Now for Raquejo. First time cross in. Finds Gall in the box, and he pulls the shot wide. Second good look Romain Gall has had in the early going.
This is great awareness from Raquejo. It's not just good enough to hit a cross. You have to have a hit a cross with purpose. He sees his man. He plays it directly to his foot. I like it. Vickers with the big header win in the center. And there's this time. Raquejo in some trouble. Stefan's clearance given straight to Akeem Andrews of Trinidad and Tobago. Juggling his way around Raquejo and drops it off. Jesus Perez, too long. Up ahead for Gall. Able to hold off the challenge. Hyndman then cut down. Hyndman wide for more. Goes backwards for Canusi. Flips it ahead towards the corner. Hyndman facing now and pressuring Jesus Perez as well to shield it out for a goal kick. We've seen both outside backs, both Raquejo and Moore, get forward, get opportunities, and be given the freedom and the confidence to consistently get forward.
Very good header win by Carter Vickers. And Hyndman who picks it up. Tommy Thompson is checking his shoulder there. Plays after Jamison too far, though.
You know, I asked Tab Ramos about the influence or lack of influence from Jurgen Klinsmann. We talk a lot about Jurgen Klinsmann. He enables us to talk a lot about him with the things that he does and says. And I asked him, how much does he have a say in how you play and what you do? He said, not at all. Which I believe.
And the idea being it's a good thing.
It is a good thing to a certain extent, but I'm interested. And look, they talk, but it's not as if Jurgen Klinsmann's getting on the phone and saying you have to play this way. But once again, it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show. These players that we are watching right now. This is about development. This is about a player that at some point can be with the full national team. We know they're not all going to do it. But maybe a couple of them graduate on. Play with the Olympic team, to play with the national team. And their comfort level with playing in a certain way can go a long way in determining if that actually happens. And if a youth team is playing in a completely different formation or a completely different philosophy on how to play, is that talent, when it does move on, lost or lesser because they haven't?
A little thick header there by Hackshaw. And it's Cicharan running forward. Moore trying to stop him. He'll do just enough. Out for a Trinidad and Tobago throw. Shaquille Moore, whose dad Wendell, actually from Trinidad and Tobago, played 3 times for them in the 80s, and it's Moore's first ever game against his father's home country. He's called into action again here defending. Cicharan has it knocked out. Another Trinidad and Tobago throw. Bring Hackshaw over to take a long throw.
This team also has an embarrassment of riches, and even some players that are playing, well, debatable, out of position. Look at a guy like Bradford Jameson, who is possibly the heir apparent in the midfield wide position at the LA Galaxy, with Landon Donovan being gone, which is debatable. But many people would argue that it's his better position.
Hackshaw's long throw knocked down. Only man there was Hyndman to get it clear to midfield. Rolls it back wide for Hackshaw. Chance to cross instead. Short for Cicharan. It's Thompson defending him. Electing not to cross that time. Back out wide. And miscontrol by Hackshaw out for a U.S. throw. And part perhaps of the developmental process of all these players, regardless of anything else, the ability to, on a less than ideal field against a very motivated opponent, find a way to get a win in qualifying.
Absolutely. So if you are talking about playing with the national team, at some point you're qualifying in CONCACAF, and it's not easy. And by the way, this stadium does not approximate it at all in terms of what's going on outside of what you're going to be up against. But you're not going to have the greatest of field.
Cicharan off the chest. Recovery for Moore, but the attempted clearance blocked back in. Moore a second time able to poke it out. Thompson there to grab it. The U.S. has had more defending to do in the last few minutes after a long spell of attacking pressure. Again, this would be enough. The U.S. would advance with a draw. It's a very narrow margin right now at 0-0. Jameson off of his shoulder, it looked like, drops it off for Spencer. Spencer has Requejo to the outside, gets it to him there, appeals for offside, not given. The cross sent in, header back out by Archer, and clearance to midfield. Moore's pressure, can't win the ball back. Akeem Andrews with it now, with his head up and looking for an option. Clips it long too far. Cicharan to chase down. Thompson down the line. Spencer is there. Jameson holding up. The cross is blocked. Well, that could have been a play on for advantage there as Spencer was coming down the byline, but it is given as a handball against Leland Archer and a free kick for the U.S.
Take a look at it again. Yep. Yep. See what the U.S. can make out of it.
Again, it's Emerson Hyndman. Leads the team with 3 assists in the first 4 games to take.
Look at him. Look at him searching. Trying to pick out where he's going to put it, to whom he's going to put it. It's like a pitcher. Calling off. No, I'm not going to do that one. Look at that.
Center backs forward for the U.S. Hyndman lifts it in. Header up and away by Perez. And first there to react to it was Akeem Garcia of Trinidad and Tobago. Moore holds it in, trying to reset Too tall for Hyman, out for a throw.
Has to be said, poor set piece. Ball wasn't actually to anyone. And that could be the fault of not the right run and not the right communication. But every time, it's not that you're going to score every time, but at least get a challenge on it. Make them work for the clearances.
Shannon Gomez now the right back and captain for Trinidad and Tobago. He was knocked down by Knuth, but he couldn't get up and win the ball. Akeem Andrews 1-on-4. Unable to charge his way through. And catches Requeijo late. And that's going to be a yellow card. Akeem Andrews, one of a number of players in this Trinidad and Tobago team, was with their U17s 2 years ago. And is their first player to be in the book tonight.
Yeah, we see these often where the momentum carries you in. Requeijo knows it's coming. He can feel it. He's played long enough to understand that that tackle is coming. And the louder you scream, especially in an empty stadium, the better chance you have of possibly drawing something. They're young. They're not dumb.
Steffens long ball forward. Jamison got his head to it, but it's going to be out for a goal kick. Well, about 5 minutes to go in this first half. We talked about the set piece a moment ago. The U.S. has had their spells of possession, has had twice Romain Gall missing off target. At any point, does that become a concern for the opportunities, the chances that are being missed to where it's still 0-0?
I don't think so, because I don't feel that the way that the U.S. has played is giving Trinidad and Tobago optimism. Yeah, the chances are coming. And when you talk to Tab Ramos, one thing that he is so pleased about in this tournament, despite the fact that initially it didn't go well from a result standpoint, is the amount of chances consistently that this team is generating. Now, they got to finish them, but the opportunities will be there, and there will be more.
Now Gomez tripped over the ball. Gall tried to come forward. He fell on top of it, though, and a handball appears to be the decision from the referee.
But if there is a weakness with regards to the attack of this team, it is that final touch. It is that bite in the end. We've seen so many times on the left and right side when Requeijo's gotten through. Other players have gotten through. Tab Ramos is getting in trouble here. This is a very cordial conversation that they're had. But he was saying we need that killer instinct because they're getting crosses. They're getting good crosses, good opportunities. But whether it's Spencer, whether it's Jamison, or anybody else coming through, when those crosses come, you got to get in there. And you got to be lethal and brutal.
That was Thompson winning the header there off the free kick. Spencer trying to carry forward for himself. Killer instinct that hurt the U.S. the first two games. Just the one goal. A late draw with Guatemala. 90th minute goal for Guatemala and the 1-0 defeat to Panama. First time they ever lost to Panama at the Under-20 championship. And that's the hole they've had to dig themselves out from under in the 2 games since. Under pressure. Good work to get the ball wide for John Requeijo. He's got Romain Gall in front of him to the left. Jamison showing central. Gall gets it instead. Returning it, Requeijo wasn't continuing his run, but his pressure is able to get it out for a U.S. throw down in the corner. In for Emerson Hyman. Hyman dancing his way past one defender. Hyman keeps on a second. The shot knocked in the air by Welch. That'll do as a save. But Emerson Hyman showing his quality there.
Quick feet. Quick feet. Look at this. Just find a nice little distance. Boom. I know it. Boom. And the poor ground actually benefited him there. It skipped up on it. They didn't get the full volley.
Well, that was Dallas versus Houston in one manner of speaking there. Johan Welch able to make the stop and keep it at 0-0. Romain Gall now running forward, trying to get around Gomez. Gets the cross in, cut out by Watson. And he'll clear it back out to midfield. It's controlled by Akeem Garcia. Jamison's header finds Gall. Tommy Thompson now trying to play it out wide. Shaquille Moore with the attempt that was blocked by Jesus Perez. And out for a U.S. corner.
He knows he hit it well. Obviously, deflected out for a corner, but he knows it. You know when you hit something flush. You also know when it's going in the stands.
Hyman taking the Americans' third corner of the game. Lifts it in. Welch hesitation in the header. Flashing wide on the edge. Carter Vickers was up there alongside Spencer. And Johan Welch, the goalkeeper, almost caught no man's land.
Service, once again, money, and in the way that it's delivered. Just hanging up there. And if you're a big, tall center back coming forward, you dine on that.
Oscar wins the header off the goal kick. Hyman throws his body in there. And we'll get a... It's going to go the other way. He thought he was getting a free kick for dangerous play. John Pitti of Panama disagrees.
Got me. I don't know what he's calling there.
And they like to go wide for Shannon Gomez. Pass was off target there for Wu Ling, and the U.S. has it back. Hyman for Gall. First touch for Bradford Jamieson. Martian Watson is the defender. Jamieson with the touch, tripped up. Free kick for the U.S. out on the wing. And is Martian Watson going to be in extra trouble here?
And we talked about his ability out wide, especially when he gets strung out wide, even though he's playing up top. Maybe a much more comfortable and natural type of position and starting position. Just push it by him and go. And you know what? Look, a trip's a trip, even if you trip yourself. Sometimes they give it to you.
I think there might have been a little bit of contact on that right boot, but most of it was his legs catching each other. Either way, can the U.S. take advantage now? They've sent the heavy artillery forward to try to once again get on the end of Emerson Hyman's service. Hyman drifting it in. Good header away by Archer. Held in by Romain Gall. His shot is blocked. Knuth, he'll miss-hit that first time. Thompson trying to control for himself. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. 1 minute stoppage time at the discretion of the referee. Akeem Garcia charging forward. Moore. I didn't know he was there. Ends up giving away a free kick. Hakeem Andrews slow to get up. And Trinidad and Tobago seem content to milk this out and maybe have one last thrust forward or just see things into halftime. Pressure, and the U.S. wins it back. That was Hyman jumping forward. Options either side, loses his footing. Referee deeming that it was on his own. Knuth trying to keep it in, finds Tommy Thompson. We're past the minute indicated. Thompson for the U.S. hands it off wide for Shaquille Moore. Moore fires it in, and it's all the way through. Spencer was there on the back post. Did take a deflection. Should be a U.S. corner. Fourth corner of the half. This will be the last chance of the first half. Hyman drives it in. And, well, that was Miazga there. You saw him react as it just glanced off his forehead. That's the end of the first half. Alexi 0-0, strictly speaking, is good enough for the U.S., but has the first half been good enough for Tab Ramos in the U.S.?
I think it's been good enough. I think they've gotten opportunities. They've gone wide, gotten opportunities wide. I don't think that they have given up much. They had the first couple of minutes where Trinidad came at them. They weathered that little storm, wasn't even a storm. So I think they go back into this locker room and they say, all right. On the opposite side, Trinidad, they don't have to win it in the first half. They can win it in the last minute.
45 minutes down, 45 to go in Montego Bay in this do-or-die game at the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. United States 0, Trinidad and Tobago 0.
Hey everybody, I'm Julianne Hough.